Science is based on evidence and religion is based on faith. Probably, you've heard that already. Such statement makes us assume there is no controversy within science. After all, if it is based on evidences only, what could go wrong? How disagreement could ever find place? It's dark in the night. The sun is hot. The moon changes its shape. Those are evident facts. Isn't it what science is all about? Actually, it's just a partial truth. Most often, scientists don't have all facts they need available. How do they overcome that gap? By the use of theories. Science is based on evidences and theory. Theories play a large role in science. Science begins with evidence, that is, something we can observe, but science doesn't stand still on it. The next step is describing what you observe and the phenomena attached to it. It must be something that anyone else could observe too. If you describe someone you met in the past, whose contact you've lost, one cannot make science out of it, no matter how true such meeting is. Then, science must explain how and why the observed thing performs what was described. The scientific explanation doesn't have to do with the beauty of what you've observed, or its righteousness, or a better way that it should be. The scientific explanation must rely on cause and effect relations only, so much better if it is displayed in a mathematical model, although not always it is possible.
A star shines. Something causes it. You can perceive the bright, but you cannot see what causes it to shine. That's when theories jump in. Theories are supposed to be the best rational explanation to the available evidence. Sometimes, scientists disagree on what would be the best rational explanation to the available evidence. The available evidences are the same for all scientists, but they don't think another explanation would be more convincing than their favorite one. For instance, Albert Einstein didn't discover anything new to formulate his theories of relativity. He worked on what was already available. Evidences that confirmed his theories came along later. Having said that, if science was based on evidence only, why the theory of relativity wasn't proposed by every single theoretical physicist of Einstein's lifetime? On the contrary, we know of criticism on Einstein's theories by reputable physicists of his lifetime. Just further evidences, yet to be discovered, can make a theory be either abandoned or confirmed. Regarding that nobody knows when ultimate evidences will be discovered, scientists will choose a theory based on their own intuition, understanding, or feeling on how real world really works, on what theories seem to be more promising, considering the available evidences. That's why and how we find controversies within science. Thus, science is based not only on evidence, but on evidence and theory. Evidences spark scientific research and confirm or debunk theories, but science would stagnate without theories or theoretical speculation. Having said that, let's take a look on religion. Christian religion, to be more precise. Is it really believing without evidence? The answer is no.
Just like science, religion also begins with evidence, not standing still on it. However, unlike science, religion won't try to figure out what is the immediate process that causes something we observe. Religion has a broader approach. Firstly, it wants to figure out why, in the sense of what for. The chain reaction of causes and effects had to produce creatures capable to be aware of such stream of events, and, secondly, what such witnesses creatures had to come into being for. Science researches an immediate past. If you were a cosmologist, that is, someone who studies the universe, you would be highly interested in the Big Bang Theory, because the later is the immediate cause of your subject and explains a lot of what you will learn. But if you were a biologist studying how certain bacteria causes a disease, you wouldn't care that much about the Big Bang Theory, because the later isn't an immediate cause of the former. Although all the atoms that form the bacteria the biologist observes came into being with a Big Bang, Such information is simply useless to someone who is trying to discover the whole set of events linking a bacteria to the disease it causes in someone's body. Religion, on the other hand, makes a comprising link from the most ancient past to the most remote future, a link which is made with a what for explanation. What is a what for explanation? We can understand it with an example. If we ask, why did ancient men make axes? We cannot answer it by just saying, because there were sticks and wedge stones around. A proper answer would be, they made axes in order to so and so. That's a what for explanation, the only one suitable to that kind of why question. In general, what for explanations are meant to answer questions involving purpose, aims, goals, plans and alike. Usually, it's the kind of knowledge one develops in the so-called human sciences, or humanities, like laws, economy, sociology, psychology and so on.
So, what's the evidence religion works on? Nature and existence. It has always been a puzzle to mankind. It was so to ancient societies, as much as it is so to modern societies. The amount of knowledge we've gathered so far doesn't change that. Why is there something instead of nothing? Why witnesses to all that? You can try to answer to that with a standard explanation to a pure why question, setting forth the whole cause and effect chain reaction from now to the Big Bang, but it won't be satisfying, because that question requests a what for explanation, as follows. About 14.8 billion years ago, the Big Bang happened. We still don't know what caused it to happen, but whatever it was, it gave rise to the Big Bang as the only possible outcome, for there was a cause and effect link. All particles released by the Big Bang produced every single today's existing atoms and energy. That too didn't happen by accident, but as the only possible outcome, given the previous conditions, because of the cause and effect link. Second after second, minute after minute, the trajectory of each particle and atom through those billions of years were determined by that very first impulse given by the Big Bang and all the interaction forces released by it, so that if you are here, that's because it had to be so, as an unavoidable consequence of the Big Bang. Just bear in mind that a curve made by the atoms of what is your body today, that happened, let's say, 3 billion years ago, was determined, for instance, by the gravitational power of a star that was in the place it was, and in the moment it was, as the only possible result of the chain reaction that dates back to the Big Bang itself.
The idea of it had to be so gets stronger when we think about what's called anthropic principle. That is, the whole set of mathematical indexes and constant values that make this universe suitable for life. For instance, if the expansion rate of the universe was faster or slower, we wouldn't be here. If the interaction force between protons and electrons were stronger or weaker, we wouldn't have a chemistry suitable for life and so on. There is a vast literature on that issue available. Just Google it. If you add mathematics chaos theory to that recipe, it gets even more amazing. One of its conclusions is that a vast number of events, seemingly independent or not related to each other, can contribute to a cause and effect chain reaction broader than we would expect, producing an outcome that we wouldn't be capable neither to associate one another, nor to anticipate, due to our incapability of tracking them as a whole. It means that not only anthropical constants are relevant to us here, but so are an unpredictable number of particles released by the Big Bang as well, in the speed, angle, direction and trajectory they had got in the very beginning. Had any of those figures a different value, even the slightest one, the outcome could be hugely different. You can find samples of chaos theory in pop culture, like, for instance, in the movie MIB, Men in Black 3, or, in a much smaller extent, in the car accident scene of the movie The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Out of many possibilities to everything go wrong to us, What really happened was something that allowed us to be here. Let's just think about the huge asteroid that hit Earth and, because of that, we've got our moon, which is relevant to stabilize Earth's rotation and tides. Much later on, another asteroid hit Earth and, because of that, dinos faced extinction, giving room to mammals. The fortunate momentum, mass and trajectory of both asteroids rely on conditions that date back to the Big Bang. If those asteroids had been swapped, we wouldn't be here.
The whole set of observations we've done so far convinces us that a proper analogy to universe history wouldn't be chance, but a plan, a programmation, a schedule. Like a tree's life cycle, there's a right time to sprout, to strengthen roots, to grow the stem and to give fruits, all that already programmed in the genetic code hidden in the seed. That's when religion jumps in. What if it is not just an analogy? What if there is an actual schedule, programmation or plan going on? What would be my role in that plan? If we assume there is a plan going on, we must assume a planner, that is, someone capable to make that programmation and to put it into practice, with his own means to manipulate or to shape what happens in the universe, someone we conventionally call God. There is unusual atheistic banter, which is saying, we are all atheists about other people's gods. We just invite you to be atheist toward one God further, yours. Well, it's time to believers say, atheists love science, that comprises many theories. We just invite you to tackle with one more theory, God. God theory, like any other theory, intends to explain some phenomena we can observe. Fiercely, God theory explains why creatures like us perceive appearance of design in the universe history. It's because the universe observes a plan indeed. God's plan. Secondly, God theory explains why human beings search for meaning in their lives. It's because our lives have a meaning indeed. We were deliberately programmed to miss it and search for it. Thirdly, God theory explains personal experiences people have with God, about what they give their testimonies.
Like any other theory, we will have opportunity to assess if it is true or false after an observable fact. When we die, we will get certitude on that issue. If you don't want to die by now, and we really hope you don't, you can tackle with God theory as we would tackle with any other theory we still don't have the whole set of ultimate proven facts we'd like, that is, by reasoning and assessing arguments. That's what we will be trying to do in a series of videos yet to come, in which we will be giving the reasons of the hope that is in us as Christians.
Proposed conclusion. Both science and Christian religion are based on evidence and theory. They differ on the sort of questioning they draw from evidence, what lead each one to different sorts of theories and method of work. One doesn't rule out another, because they have perfectly coexisting realms.